guys, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'll be talking about how you can study mathematics efficiently. So let's start by understanding how studying really works. So the process of studying is fundamentally iterative, and it requires consistency, organization, and commitment. So before the course officially starts, often you'll have access to the course outline, and the course outline will have all the important dates and the list of topics that'll be covered. So on a monthly calendar, you want to put all your assignment deadlines, test dates, exam dates, so that you have a long-term plan to work with. And then you're going to go onto YouTube, or you can skim your textbook, and you want to expose yourself to the topics. So that's just like reading through a few examples, going through definitions, familiarizing yourself with the key terms and definitions, okay? And then you want to set up your notebook. So I definitely recommend taking notes by hand and dedicating one notebook to this course you're taking, right? So what I do is that I have like a little table of contents in my notebook. I number each page. I use a Cornell type of method, note-taking method, but at the end of the day, you just need to have all the information of the course, everything you need to know for the exam in this one notebook. So the actual studying happens during the course, where I'll sit down and I'll write down definitions and the key concepts before class. I would watch the pre-lecture videos, and it significantly helped me to watch them at least 1 to 2 days in advance to the class, depending if it was like available or not. But the earlier you watch the pre-lecture videos, the better, because that will help the concept kind of sink into your head, and that would give you a chance to re-watch them at a later time, right? Like, let's say the concept was a little more harder. So if you watched it a few days in advance, you can be like, okay, like the day of the lecture, I'll rewatch it again. And that really helps, because you're not like kind of struggling to get all the material. It's just kind of like consistently going into your brain. So it's a lot less stressful, and it makes the course a lot more easier, right? If you're like just slowly taking in the information, giving yourself time to really practice. And then another tip is to take minimal notes, which means do not copy everything your teacher's writing on the board. And when I say that out loud, it sounds obvious, like obviously, like why are you writing down stuff that will be accessible to you later? The teacher will post a PDF of the notes, so why are you copying it all down? Well, the thing is that if you like write down each step by hand, then it kind of keeps your attention. You're kind of like understanding each step. But better than that is to just, in your own words, make little bullet points and write down what is happening. Like, explain what is happening, right? Instead of writing down the numbers, being like, okay, well, we are expanding the expression, or we're applying like this theorem or whatever. So actually writing it into words, I think, significantly helped me understand what's going on, versus just like 2x plus 2 equals y, or like the random stuff, like just putting it into steps. And then when I was doing the homework, like I would just basically follow the same steps, right? And then so take minimal notes. And when you're taking notes in lectures, I never understood this method until I actually sat in lecture, and I was like, wait, I was taking notes wrong my whole life. You should be sitting in lecture and you should be writing down the questions you have, like, why did we put this formula here? Numbers that the instructor is writing is not important, but the overall concept and the logic behind it is more important. So that's what you want to focus on. And then obviously the day after, or maybe when you come home, I definitely preferred reviewing my notes the next day in summer school, but I think in regular school, like once I get home, I would be reviewing the lecture notes. And that really helps, because once you sit down and review them on your own, try to like talk out loud and explain, like basically give yourself your own lecture on the material. Helps so much, okay? And you don't want it to take too long. You don't want to go into all the specifics of the numbers. You just want to understand general concepts, a general like process, the steps you took. For example, when it came to doing separable differential equations, we had like the exponential questions, we had the mixing type of questions. There's like different categories of questions sometimes, and just really kind of understanding what categories there are first of all, and then how they're solved really helps. And then, as always, do lots of homework problems. Make sure that you understand the homework problems because they will come on the exam. So jotting down what you didn't understand from the homework, figuring that out. It's a whole process, but if your professor is super helpful and your classmates kind of coordinate stuff well, then it's pretty straightforward. It's just something you have to sit down and do. So before the exam, of course, you want to review your homework and assignment problems. Now from the homework, you would notice that a lot of the questions would be you just have pretty to be similar. Really like robot when it comes to tests, math tests, right? Because it's nothing that you haven't seen before, and it's nothing that you shouldn't have practiced a bunch of times, okay? And you really want to focus on speed, right? So before the exam, it's not the actual concepts you should be clearing at that time. You should have done that before. It's actually working on the speed and accuracy, and of course there's like little things here and there that you will be learning, but in general you would just focus on speed. So that is my kind of formula for studying math. It has a lot of different parts, from like exposing yourself to material, to writing down, understanding the material, to practicing the material. But if you just dedicate time every day and work on it, it will go really smoothly. You'll have a lot of fun and it will be worth it. So thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you got something from it.